Hey, it is Greg Milby, Kentucky's Heartland at kentuckysheartland.com. We are out at beautiful Buffalo Lake this afternoon. I have my buddy David with me, David Haines, and one of the amazing brains and muscle and grit and dirt behind a lot of these trails that we have here at Buffalo Lake, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been working on for about 2 years.
We talk about hidden treasures in our community. This truly is a hidden treasure, and I've known about this for a while, and I've been debating on if I really even wanted to share it with people, because this is amazing, the work that you guys have done out here at Buffalo Lake.
Yep. Yeah, and it's been a team effort. There's probably about a dozen people that have been working this for a number of years, and it's a great area because it's tucked in between the interstate and town. And it's one of those areas I think that will draw people eventually and hopefully see a little bit of economic development for it.
So we have a lot of trails here. Predominantly, a lot of folks use it for mountain biking, but it is multi-use trails. So how many miles of trails do you have?
Right now we're somewhere between 5.2 and 5.5 miles, and it started out as about a 2.5 mile trail 2 years ago.
So why did you start doing this? I know you're a cyclist, but why did you get into this and put so much work into building these trails?
Well, I've been an avid mountain biker for all of my life, and so anytime I can create a trail close to my house, from a selfish motivation, that's great. But the other part of it was I had people in the community who I used to comment a lot on trail working, doing our social media activism, and Damon Barnes, from Green Space president, he finally goaded me into actually putting something to action. So, this is the place that I chose to do it. It's, Freeman Lake is a great venue, but not really fit for mountain biking and mixing bikers and hikers and runners. Buffalo Lake is kind of home to the mountain biking community in Elizabethtown, and so that was really the main motivation, is to give us some place to go. But you see all kinds of users out here, everything from walkers, fishermen, hikers, and runners.
So is this Green Space? Who maintains this? Is it just your group, or is it a collaboration? Is it the city? Who takes care of this park out here?
It's a collaboration. The city has helped us out quite a bit. They're aware of what's going on out here and supportive. Also, Green Space, they do a lot of the paid maintenance out here, because there are people that come out here and mow and do certain parts of it. Central Kentucky Wheelman has been very generous, donating material and money, helping us build the trails. And of course, Kentucky Mountain Biking Association has come out here and supported us as well, teaching us how to build these trails properly so they can be sustainable.
So for those that aren't familiar with where we are, Buffalo Lake is right off of Commerce Drive, but you can also access it from downtown E-Town as well, correct?
Yes, you can park in the Justice Center, and the trail to get out here is a little unclear right now, and we're working on marking it better. But if you go from the Justice Center through the Haycraft neighborhood and then through past the women's shelter, you'll eventually reach Buffalo Lake.
And if you come over on Commerce Drive, are there three trailheads here on Commerce Drive?
3 trailheads, yep.
All right. So there's been a lot of talk with tourism over the last year about the potential of building a pathway, I guess a concrete or gravel pathway that will go from the hotels on Commerce Drive to downtown E-Town. Will that affect any of this natural landscape that we have here with these trails?
It should be very minimal, because the last plan I heard is there's a pipeline midway through the area, and that's what the city's planning on, or tourism is planning on using, is that pipeline path that's already cut just to put the trail in. So the Buffalo Lake Trail will cross at 2 points, but that's really about it.
All right, so when somebody comes out here, I know somebody has marked these trails when they come out. So tell them how to navigate around the paths.
Okay, sure. All you need to look for is red arrows going one way and yellow arrows going the other way. That gives you about a 5-mile loop that you can follow, and that's about it. It's pretty simple.
Is it a loop? Is it an out and back? What are they going to encounter here?
It's a loop.
Now, I'm not a great mountain biker. Okay, I'm not a very good mountain biker at all. I don't see many mountain bikes with training wheels, but we'll work on that. If somebody's not a great mountain biker, should they come out on these trails, or should they try somewhere else first?
Well, that's It depends more on judgment than it does on skill. Where you get in trouble with mountain biking is if you are riding beyond your skill ability. Buffalo Lake is meant to be an intermediate to advanced mountain biking trail. That's not to say a beginner couldn't come out here, but he or she would have to know where their limits are and be very careful on some of the more difficult terrain.
All right, you put this group together that helps maintain the trails and does work. Mm-hmm. If somebody really wants to get involved, do you have work days that people can come out and partake in? Yep. And if you do, how can somebody get involved?
Well, the main point of contact we have right now is a Facebook group called the Hardin County Trail Workers Union. And that's where we post our work days, and we're going to start working on not only doing work days but also maybe some education and training so people can learn there are proper ways to build trails so they dry off quicker, they're sustainable, they don't get muddy, and we're going to start working that too. And green space, I don't want to obligate them to anything yet, but they are talking about bringing in a professional trail builder to also teach a course, which would be great for the community, not just Buffalo Lake but also the other trails within Elizabethtown.
Speaking of that, and because it's not just getting out of here riding your bike and when you wear down the grass, you've got yourself a trail. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Did you let the terrain decide how you did the course, or did you kind of manipulate it yourself?
It's a little bit of both. One of the jokes we have is there's a trail under there just waiting to be found, but sometimes it involves a lot of work. It can be everything from taking out small trees and the stumps to moving big rocks. And part of it is, you've got to stay within a certain degree of slope to consider drainage and things like that. So we try and follow the natural flow of terrain as best we can, and where we can't, we build the trail so it will drain well and be around for years to come.
It is a beautiful place. My original plan was to come out here, do an interview with you, and then put together a highlight video of a lot of the trail. But as we've been sitting here talking, and I'm hearing the sounds, and I'm seeing the creek, this beautiful creek behind us, and I'll put a different camera angle so you can see it there. It's just absolutely beautiful. I've kind of decided I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do a highlight video. I want people to come out here and experience this, and I want them to experience the first time themselves, not with a little bit of help from me, because this really truly is a beautiful place.
Yeah, and the trail is marked, so you can come out here and explore, and worst case, just backtrack if you're not sure where you are. But what you got to remember is you're bounded on every side by civilization. So you'll end up on Commerce Drive, you'll end up on the interstate, as a boundary, or you'll end up in town. So no matter which direction, if you think you get in trouble, there's always a bailout that you can go to. But it's not that serious of a trail, so but don't let it intimidate you to come out here into the woods and just explore.
So a Naked and Afraid episode won't break out in here because we'll find civilization pretty quick.
No. There's restaurants way too close, so.
I'll tell you, as we've been sitting here for a few minutes now, we've not had anybody come through here. You would not experience this at Freeman Lake Park. I mean, you're always going to have somebody coming through. We're literally, folks, standing on the trail and have not had anybody come through yet.
Yeah, it's middle of the day right now. It tends to be busier on the weekends and in the evenings, but it is a very kind of quiet, serene place to come out, and it's one of the reasons I love it.
All right. So, again, Kentucky'sHeartland.com. You can find the information below this video. Also, the Facebook page, you're seeing that on your screen as well. Come out, experience this, and I would love to see you get involved with this because it takes guys like you and your crew doing things like this that will inspire people to come out and be a part of this community. We have a beautiful place to live, and I have had a chance to run at Buffalo Lake in the past, and it kind of fell into disrepair, and it's good to see that you guys are fixing that and creating new things. So appreciate all the work you're doing.
Oh, thanks a lot. This is a community asset, so I'm glad to be helping a little bit with this, and like I said, this is a team effort. A lot of guys have put a lot of work in out here.
All right, David's one of the folks powering the Heartland. Again, more information at Kentucky'sHeartland.com, and you can find their information on their Facebook page as well. Thanks for watching.